Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm Jenny Montgomery. We're starting our show with a look at something that affects families from all walks of life. And sadly, a new report shows suicide is the leading cause of death for young adults in Georgia. It breaks down the numbers from last year, and of all deaths by suicide, more than 60% of victims were between the ages of 20 and 24. Atlanta Bureau Chief Archit Seshadri examines what the state is doing to reduce the stigma.
New data shows suicide is the second leading cause of death for children 10 to 14 and the third leading cause of death for those between the ages of 15 and 24. In 2023 alone, 249 people died by suicide under the age of 24 in Georgia. Experts say that's due to isolation, reduced adult oversight, and a lack of routine.
Sometimes there are those signs. Other times you talk to friends, you talk to family members of someone who's committed suicide and they didn't see it coming at all. People are very good at masking their true feelings and their pain. So sometimes it's difficult. So that's why it's important just not to just be there when you feel like somebody may be struggling, but just to be a good friend, just to be a trusted adult, just to be that person that they can count on.
Vulnerable populations at greater risk for suicide include youth in single-parent households or those in unstable home environments.
So we want to continue to build out our crisis continuum, because when I talk about 988, 988 is more than a phone number. 988 is a person to call when you need to talk to someone. But it's also about a mobile crisis team that can be dispatched anywhere in Georgia 24 hours a day.
Firearms are the most common methods of suicide among young men. Data shows while men are more likely to die by suicide, women are likely to seek emergency care for self-harm. The report also shows African American youth had the highest suicide death rate in 2023. Reporting in Atlanta, Archit Seshadri, Atlanta Bureau Chief.
Data from the Georgia Student Health Survey from 2023-2024 shows the following statistics for students starting with middle schoolers. 17% considered self-harm, 11% self-harmed, 10% considered suicide, 6% attempted suicide. As for high schoolers, 14% say they considered self-harm, 8% did self-harm, 9% considered suicide, and 5% attempted suicide. The Department of Health says construction workers have the highest rate of suicide in Georgia, as well as the highest rate of drug overdose deaths. If you know someone who is emotionally distressed, you can call or text the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988, which is available 24/7. When we come back, details about the Out of the Darkness walk coming up in Aiken. It's an important display of community support for victims of suicide loss. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. We're talking about suicide prevention today, and one of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention's community walks is coming up this fall in Aiken. The walks are called Out of the Darkness. Juliana Boatwright Taylor is the co-chair volunteer for ASFP, and she's here today with Lily Meliezer, who is a high school senior at Davidson Fine Arts Magnet School, and she's a volunteer for the Out of the Darkness walk. Ladies, thank you both for being here today.
Thank you so much.
You know, this is such a hard and serious topic, but part of the reason that we have an Out of the Darkness walk is to let it be a safe place for people to talk.
There's been so much shame associated with suicide and suicidal ideation, both the strugglers and the survivors. Mm-hmm. And that's why we call it Out of the Darkness. We want to bring the conversation into light so that people understand there's a lot of resources out there. There's a tremendous community for support. We have things that we can do now that we didn't used to have. And the only way that we can let people know about those things is if they bring it out of the darkness.
Right, right. That name has always struck me because I've just thought that is so good, because that is so much of what you want to do with a topic that people whisper about.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah. And another thing that we've seen also, and I try to be aware of this when I'm writing stories about suicide, we're much more aware of how hurtful a phrase like committed suicide can be, okay? Died by suicide is what I try to get us to say here in the newsroom. And I've learned that by talking to people about suicide and understanding if you have lost someone, committed suicide is a very harsh thing to say.
Yeah, you commit, you know, crimes, and we don't want to associate it with that.
No, not at all, not at all. Lily, now as a high school student, what is your interest in being involved as a volunteer with the walk?
I think that my interest mainly stems from it's such a pervasive issue in my age group especially, and I've had friends and I've had, you know, my own struggles that I really want to bring to light instead of, you know, it can be such a taboo thing, and like you were talking about, the stigma is such a hard issue to overcome, but by having the walks, and I saw it as an opportunity, it's really this beacon of hope for people to understand, especially in my age group, that if they're encountering that problem, or if they're encountering some sort of difficulty that they feel like they're only facing alone, that they're able to come to this sort of community and have people who have shared similar experiences or are just there to listen. And so I feel like in my position, it's such a critical point to be talking about this and to be involved in it and bringing other people around and just showing up for the community.
I love that. That's such a good, just such a healthy attitude. The walk is going to be in early November.
Yes, Sunday, November 9th at Odell Weeks in Aiken.
And you want people to go ahead now and sign up, make your teams. And I think this is really such a great idea. When you do sign up and you become involved, share it on your social media. And there's a reason for that.
Yes, you want to share and not just share once. Sharing at all can get more people involved. It can help us raise more money for future research and for educational programs. But for me, I share often because when I post, there's just a few people that are going to see that post. So if I post again, 2 days later, it might show up in the feed of somebody who is struggling right then and needs to know that there's some help.
And so, that's when social media can be so for the good.
Yes.
So for the good. Before we wrap up, you did want to tell us a little bit about some of the sponsors you have for the walk.
Yes, so I just wanted to, this is a t-shirt that we give away to people who have raised $150 or more. I do want to also say the Carriage House in Aiken has given us a free night for the top earner.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
okay.
So I just wanted to thank them for that. But we, everybody picks up a T-shirt, and we've got some of the sponsors listed on the back. So every year we make we add one of these to a quilt. My mom has been doing that. So
an Out of the Darkness quilt?
Yeah, with all the T-shirts, and then that's what the top team will carry with them on their walk.
Yeah.
To start the walk for us.
What a great idea.
Yeah, it's a nice tradition.
It is an opportunity for the community to come out and support people who are dealing with suicide loss, and to raise awareness about the resources that are available in our communities. So I do thank you both for coming today and for talking with us about this. The Out of the Darkness Walk is coming up Sunday, November 9th at Odell Weeks Park in Aiken. It is a family-friendly event. Registration is at noon. The walk starts at 2 p.m. Go online and start a team. Just click the QR code on your screen.